To those who seek to undermine me, at home and abroad, I cannot respond with anything less than the totality of my strength. If 1 billion people across the earth and in my own country must be burned to prove it, then my worthiness as a king will be demonstrated!
The Communist Party of North Korea has total control over the media and immense censorship capabilities that affect the entire country. In order to ensure that people remain obedient and controllable, the government blinds them. They do this by putting out lies in the media.
North Korea is one of the world's most isolated countries, a hermit kingdom hermetically sealed from the rest of civilization. It's a country both astoundingly brutal and almost comically absurd. Its single television channel is dedicated to exalting the leadership of dictator Kim Jong-un and instilling fanatical devotion to his regime. North Koreans are allowed no external internet access, though some can gain access to the country's intranet, also populated entirely with regime propaganda.
North Korean leaders believe that this system is necessary to keep people obedient, controllable, and to prevent the rise of criticism about the government. Because of the extreme censorship and control of the media, it is no surprise that the people of North Korea believe these 5 lies told by the government.
5 things North Koreans are made to believe. Number 5. Kim No Poop. An official biography on the North Korea state website claimed that Kim Jong-un does not defecate. Anyone who has seen the interview knows what's up.
The Supreme Leader believes it is a hallmark of a prosperity and a self-sufficiency.
I don't know about all that, but this one is one that I heard. I heard he doesn't pee or poo.
He works so hard, he burns the energy from inside.
You tell me my man doesn't have to take a poo. Does he have a butthole?
He does not have a butthole. He has no need for one.
Number 4. Hamburgers. North Korean newspaper Minju Joseon once reported that Kim Jong-il had invented something called the double bread with meat and created factories to produce them in order to feed his students and teachers. Given North Korea's anti-American stance, it wasn't political to admit they were, in fact, hamburgers. Number 3. How Americans live. While many countries around the world aren't crazy about the perceived lifestyle of Americans, North Korea takes it to a new level. In a video, they depicted America as a country that subsists of eating snow and lives in tents, made by the kind government of North Korea. The government claims that all Americans buy guns just so they can kill each other and that they use children as target practice.
How Americans live today. Dramatic music. This is how Americans live today, drinking coffee made from snow and living in tents and buying guns to kill each other, especially children. Some people complain about the guns. Living on the streets of modern-day America. These trees are full of snow. You'll see that there are no birds. They've been eaten by the people who live in these tents and corridors. This man awaits heroin. Their houses blow down very easily, and they have to live in tents like these.
Number 2. South Korea. The totalitarian leadership in North Korea doesn't want its people heading for greener pastures, so they've propagated some wild rumors about South Korea. North Koreans are led to believe that South Koreans camp out by the border waiting to shoot anyone who dares cross the border. In fact, North Korea heavily guards their borders to prevent their people from leaving. Number 1. Supernatural birth. According to North Korea media outlets and Kim Jong-il's official biography, he was born at the highest point of Korea, Mount Paektu, Legend has it that he was born underneath a rainbow and that he could walk within days. Preceding his amazing birth was a swallow who told the masses of his coming. In fact, he was likely born in Russia while his father was commanding a Soviet army.
The North Korean media exists to distort a picture of the world in accordance with its ever-changing demands of its ruler. This brainwashing has detrimental effects on its citizens.
Both. And for a lot of people, the brainwashing is effective enough to make them think that these leaders or the leader is a god.
So this brainwashing is an unbelievable concept, and it's real, and it happens, and unfortunately, they've done it to a whole country.
I know, and think about how they managed to make it so effective. You cut everyone off from the outside world. You know, they don't have access to anything, any type of communication, no internet, no smartphones, none of this technology that led to the Arab Spring and, you know, other revolutions. And so, yeah, it's really easy for them to do that.
Yeah, and so we have an entire country that, if they are to ever be liberated, has to be deprogrammed for years on end. It's unbelievable how much this one family and the military leadership in North Korea has damaged millions of people for decades at a time.
Perhaps the most important message this regime is trying to send at home and abroad is that this new leader is adored by his people. The young Kim's leadership is constantly reinforced by a lavish state media. Videos like this one show an army officer wiping his eyes, overcome with emotion, as Kim Jong-un speaks personally to him. Even the television announcer is emotional as she proclaims this to be a historic moment for these soldiers. And recently, the regime has ratcheted up the propaganda just as it's ratcheted up its threats. And this is how a cult of personality is born and nurtured. We see soldiers and their families at a military outpost running to greet Kim Jong-un. He hugs and kisses the little children who surround him. The crowds in front of the camera grow, and when they gather to say goodbye, many are seen openly weeping. And then, as Kim boards his boat to leave, soldiers ran frantically down the beach to say goodbye to their leader, even plunging into the icy water in their uniforms to show how much they adore him. He waves benignly and gestures paternally for them to go back to dry land. As the boat pulls away, the announcer says their leader has confidence that he can win a war against American soldiers. And that's a theme that continues to play out on North Korean television these days.
In conclusion, the country is completely closed off from the rest of the world, both physically and virtually, which allows the supreme leader of the country to create a world filled with propaganda and lies. Although the lies that the North Korean government tells are clearly ridiculous to the rest of the world, North Koreans fully believe them because this is all they know.